Hi, my name is Rossbert. Welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the Harley Benton PB-20 bass. We're going to do an in-depth review. We're going to be looking at the features and how it sounds, but also there is a little problem with this Harley Benton bass. We've seen it before with Harley Benton guitars and I'm going to show you how to solve it. So let's dive in. I bought the SBK 20 for my wife as a present for her birthday. She was a bass player before. She wanted to get back into the instrument, but obviously we didn't want to spend lots and lots of money on kind of an upper end precision bass from Fender, so we went to the Thomann website and the design of the SBK and that matte black paint job really stood out, so we decided to order it. We ordered the bundle, which was quite good. Let's look at what's in the bundle. Of course you get this really pretty bass. You also get a little clip-on tuner, which is super handy. You get a jack cable, you get this gig bag, which is surprisingly good quality and quite thick for a gig bag. I have had much worse gig bags before. And also you get the Harley Benton bass, which is called, I think it's called the 20B bass amp. That bass amp's fine. It's completely good for kind of bedroom practice. It's not going to be any use at all if you're out playing gigs. But to be honest, as a household, we're kind of moving over to amp simulators anyway, so it wasn't really that big of a thing. All in all, the whole pack, including the bass, was really good value at about £190, around about there. I'll probably put a correction here if I'm wrong. So when this bass arrived, pulling it out of the box, first thing that was striking was the matte black finish and this tortoise shell scratch guard. The matte black is absolutely amazing. Sometimes with this matte paint job it can be quite easily chipped during shipping. This one arrived perfectly. There are no blemishes, there are no marks or smudges on the paintwork. It was finished spectacularly. Also, this black hardware just sits so well on this bass. It has an amaranth fretboard, 20 frets. It has a plastic nut, which you may want to change. It's up to you. I don't really think it makes that much of a difference to be going through it. The neck is made of maple and the body is made of poplar. Weight-wise, it's kind of a medium weight. It's not super heavy, but again, it's not so light where a lot of cheaper basses just feel like balsa wood. This one has got a bit of heft to it. The one thing I did notice when I started playing this bass is the action is slightly high when you move up towards the 12th fret. The truss rod is accessible here through this little hole, and that's going to be a metric Allen key. Same as well with lowering and highering your action on this bridge. All Harley Bentons use metric because they're not American. Fee-wise, when playing, the weight is kind of nice. It sits nice on your body. There's no neck dive or anything, and the neck has a nice C shape. I find all frets are pretty easily accessible. At this point, I would usually give a little sound sample of how the bass sounds, but we're not going to do that just yet because it wouldn't be fair, and I'll tell you why. The problem that I'm going to talk about with this bass is a problem that was with one of the guitars before. I have talked about that before at length in another video, and that's the reason why you should subscribe. This matte black paint on this bridge and on all the Harley Bentons as well with the matte black bridges, it doesn't conduct electricity. And that's a big problem. Inside all the electronics of your guitar is a thing called grounding, which takes all the kind of like interferences that happen along electronic circuits and just dumps it out the earth side of the wire of your jack cable. One of the things that always needs earth in a guitar or bass is the strings. This matte black paint is stopping the earth wire, taking all that kind of noise and buzz from your strings and dumping it out that earth channel. Why a guitar or bass company would sell instruments with these types of bridges on them, knowing that they cause really bad noise and earthing issues, is beyond me. If this was chrome, there'd be good contact between the earth wire and this bridge plate and therefore the strings, and you wouldn't have that problem. You can't use this in a gig. It would be the most annoying noise in the world, and the sound man would probably shoot you. Everybody knows they're grumpy already. They don't need an excuse to be even more grumpy at you. You could get away with practicing at home with it, but I just find it far too annoying. Considering that this bass on its own, not in the pack, is £111, I don't think anybody would be hard pushed to throw in an extra 20 quid to get a better matte black kind of bridge plate on there that actually does conduct electricity and therefore allows that earth buzz to escape. The good news is with this cheap hardware, I've used cheap guitars all my life. And it is super easy to solve. You just need a little bit of know-how and a screwdriver. So let's get to it. Now I did need to switch over to a power drill because those screws are firmly in there. So this is the earth wire and it's not making a good connection with the bottom. So what we need to do is on the bottom here, and we're going to scratch a little bit along here just where those strings meet so we can get an overall kind of good connection between here and here. You can see they have got the chrome plate on here, which is different to the guitar version. The guitar version was completely matte black the whole way across here, so they've made an attempt, but still. This little band here of black paint is what I think is stopping the connection running from the strings here right back to here and then into this wire. So what we're going to do is grab our screwdriver again and we're just going to scratch off some of that paint and make sure we're getting that connection over. So just get the end of your screwdriver and what you're going to do is just scratch along there and get it right on that hole. Where that connection is happening, you want there to be no paint. It is amazingly easier to do when there aren't strings on the instrument. Now, I'm guessing that if you bought a bass like this, it's because you want one because you're on a budget and maybe you're just starting out. So maybe just spend another 20 or 30 pounds might not be in your budget range and you might want to do this. I, on the other hand, am just unbelievably cheap and that's why I'm doing it. Also, we are going to give that plate just one extra little scratch, just in case it isn't so perfect. And I'm running little connection lines as well to each one of the scoops that I've made, just to cover all of our bases, if you excuse the pun. So that's all the scratches, and that is the paintwork scratched. The last thing to do in this video, and the main thing that we want to do in this video, is find out what it sounds like. So let's plug it in, let's take a little demo through a couple of different styles of playing, and we'll hear what this is, and then I'll give an overall verdict, and then we'll all be happy. looked through all the specs, we have fixed all the problems, and we've heard what this bass sounds like. Now for the final review, whether I think that you should buy that bass. And I don't think you should. Harley Benton make great affordable guitars and basses, but I do not think the SBK-20 is one of them. I think it looks great, but part of it looking great means that you're going to have to compromise, especially having to take the whole thing apart and make sure you fix that earthing problem before you even get to play the thing, which you shouldn't expect from any instrument. I believe that any instrument, especially like in modern times, should come out of a factory playable, and this one just isn't. There are so many great basses that you can get for around the same price mark as the SBK-20. They're functionable. Some have even better function. I really love their deluxe series. I have a review video planned to come up really soon, so again, subscribe. So I would recommend having a little bit more of a scope about and maybe choosing something else. Although it looks cool, it doesn't play well, and that's the whole point of buying a bass. If you bought a budget bass and it plays great and you absolutely love it, please drop it down in the comments, because people who are watching this video are on the lookout for an affordable and great bass, and you'll be really helping the community out. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more, please think about subscribing and leaving a like. But until the next video, ta-ta!